Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to another round of Way of the Hunter. Yesterday we started over on a fresh save file, we picked up all of our missions for Nez Perce, and today we're going to jump back into Nez Perce Valley and we're going to get started on some of the more painful missions, I guess you could call them. These are the ones that require us to get animals with at least 4 stars. And in order to make that happen, we are going to do a bit of an animal census, and we're going to have to use an external tool for this. Hey Typo, how's it going? So, as you can see, we're at the very end of the day. This is what our map looks like right now. We have uncovered most of the campsites, but not all of them, because there are campsites that don't have, for example, there's one over here that doesn't have an actual task for us, so we didn't go there yet. What we are going to do today is we are going to go through the primary habitat areas for American black bear, sheep, bighorn sheep, and gray wolves, which is the ones that we actually need for the grinding and metaphor. And I need someone to watch while I'm doing some boring leveling. Oh, well, I hope you enjoy it. So we're going to have to do it for the Trouble in the City of the Stars, which requires a 4-star black bear. So we're going to have to look at the black bears in their primary habitat, the bighorn sheep, and also the, where was the one with the wolves? Oh, right there. Yeah, so these are what we're going to focus on today. The reason why I want to get this out of the way early is that it's entirely possible that we don't have any 4-star animals on our map right now, but we almost definitely have animals on the map that at least have the potential to be a 4-star. And if we can find those early, then we can get those missions done as we are going through the day. Now, in order to make this work, first of all, it's important to note that every animal has a primary habitat and a secondary habitat, or at least most of them do. The information for that will be displayed down here once you have enough animal information, which for the gray wolves right now we don't, for example, which is very inconvenient. For black bears, we know the primary habitat is highland forest. They don't actually have a secondary one, and we should not be finding them in any other areas. And for the bighorn sheep, we also need to find it, but I'm pretty sure for the bighorn sheep, this primary habitat is mountains. So we're gonna have to go through the mountain areas, the highland areas, and I think for the wolves, it's the lowland forest. So we're gonna have to explore a lot of map. We are not going to look at the at Diamond Drill, Halliwich, and She-Devil because those are currently still locked. If we manage to unlock them today, great. If not, you can still get your 4-star animals without going into those areas. So we are going to start with, I think it will actually be best if we start with Sheep Eater Ridge. Because if we start with Sheep Eater Ridge, then we can also do the black bighorn sheep, which should be appearing down here. I think that might actually be a good idea. So we're going to start at She-Devil. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at all of the bighorn herds in this area. If we're lucky, we find an elk along the way that we can shoot, or maybe a wolf that is 2-star or 3-star. We'll see how it goes. Now, in order to track this correctly, we are going to use Nekebo's toolbox. This tool, oh my god, is so good. I swear to god, I wish this was in the game. This was made by a member of the community who goes by the name of Nekebo on Discord and on Steam as well, I think. On Reddit he has a different name, but I'm not entirely sure what name. I just remember seeing him in the Reddit comments under a different name. This toolbox includes information on all the animals. Oh, we actually have the habitat information here as well. Great. Grey wolf, primary, highland forest, lowland forest. Also, we can stay in the highland forest. That's cool. And so we don't have to look at the lowland forest today. And for the bighorn sheep, it is mountains, yeah. So this will tell you which guns you can use from a reasonable distance in order to properly have the right energy to take down the animals. You also have a lineup of the guns and how much energy they actually have at certain distances. You have the life cycle overview, which lists the feeding times and sleeping times and drinking times for every single species in every single map. But honestly, the most important part of this entire toolbox, in my opinion, is the individual map. And you can see all the maps are here, including the DLCs. Now, when you first look at this, you might say, oh, this is only what I have in game. Then you scroll in. This map is made using game data provided by the developers themselves. So, you know, this is about as accurate as it can get. And it is listing every single herd. Now, when you click on a herd, it will tell you where all the need zones are. Some people may call this cheating, but I remember we had a discussion about this in the Discord once, and one of our most experienced hunters, he was like, I don't consider this cheating. I just think of this like, imagine you have a bunch of hunting buddies who tell you, oh yeah, I know there's elk feeding at this lake at 7 in the morning every single day. So, you know, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to, but this can actually be really helpful. Now, of course, you might see, oh, this is a lot. We don't need that much, actually. You can toggle the filters over here. I recommend keeping all of the general filters, because that will just help you identify where you need to go based on landmarks. And then you can click on the animals you want. So we want black bear, we want bighorn sheep, and we want gray wolves, right there. So now we can only see the black bears, the gray wolves, and the bighorn sheep. And we can see exactly where they are and where their need zones are. Now, you may wonder which habitat do these belong to. In general, roughly speaking, if the herd icon is in, say, she-devil, but the need zones are in he-devil, then the animal belongs to she-devil. It belongs to the area where the animal icon is. This is especially important for Transylvania, because there is a mission in Transylvania that was like harvest a sheep in the Regina Mountains or harvest a gray wolf in the Regina Mountains. And I actually harvested one outside of in a need zone outside of the Regina Mountains, but because the herd belonged to Regina Mountains, it still counted. So that's really important to know. And so we can see where exactly all these animals are. We can see there's a bunch of wolves over here, which we can safely ignore because all of this is lowland forest. But basically everything on the left side of the map that is not private territory, we are going to look at today. Now, let's look at our life cycle information. We've got bighorn sheep are drinking at 11. Wolves are drinking at 5. And black bears are drinking at 7. So 7, 11, and 5. Okay. So we're gonna have to make sure that we don't just scout them at the drinking zones, even though the drinking zones are the easiest. But if we try to go only by drinking zones, it's going to be taking a long time. Now you may wonder, okay, we can find the drinking zones, but how do we actually keep track of what animal is, you know, good for us to keep an eye on and which ones are not? To do that, you can just click on the animal here, right click, edit marker, and then you get this wonderful window on the side. And my God, I wish this was a function in game. You can put a description. For example, you can say here, albino bear. There are no albino bears in game. And you can say 3-star adult on day 4. That means you check the animal on the 4th day on the map, and he's a 3-star adult. And then when you come back on day 7, which means 1 year later, you can change this to, oh, he is now a 3-star mature on day 7. You can click here to add animals. So to add animals to this list. So we would, for example, click adult M3 would be 3 stars, male 3 stars, and then F would be female. Adult male 3 stars, and then you can pick a highlight color. How you do these depends on you. Personally, I always go with yellow is a wildcard animal, could be useful, could be not. I can't tell. This is all the 1-star youngs, all the 1-star adults, things like that. Red means I shot something low fitness here and the rest of the herd doesn't look that good either. green means there is a animal that I want to keep an eye on because they have promised to become a 4-star. And blue is the one that I usually use for rare furs, albinos. So for this one, I would pick blue. Okay, and now you can see, now I have the 3 stars listed under here. That is always for the biggest animal. So if we add, for example, a 1-star young to this as well, you can see it still has 3 stars because the biggest animal in this group is a 3-star. And then you can just keep track of your animals like this and use that to find the ones that are really worth your time. And what we are also going to do is we are going to take an animal that we are not actually going to look at. We are going to take, let's take this wolf because we're not going to deal with these wolves anyway. We're going to use this wolf. I'm going to put them in a nice little pink. This is our time tracking wolf. Okay. Time tracking wolf. Current day. We're going to set this to day 2 because remember we just finished our first day on the map. We spent that first day on the map just going around and grabbing campsites. And now we're going to switch to day 2. So I'm going to put day 2 here because that's where we're going to start out on. And every time the day rolls over, we are going to add 1. And when we reach day 4, we're going to increase this to year 2. Although technically you don't need to track the year. You can just track the day and that will be good enough. So we're just going to track the day. We're going to put day 2. That's done. And now I'm actually going to go to our lodge. We're going to sleep for a bit. Specifically, we're going to sleep until 7 a.m. the next morning. And then we're going to start our fresh hunting at 7 a.m. Get some ammo back. Oh, we do not. We do actually have enough money for the caller now. Yes. Let's go. I want to get the Kayi Predator Caller because 2 of the animals that we're hunting are predators. And if we can weed out the low fitness ones with a caller, that would be useful. One thing to keep in mind with the Predator Caller is that it can also call females because it simulates the call of the prey. So of course females also come in because they think there's a meal there. So you got to keep that in mind. You might attract a female or you might attract a low fitness. Let's go. We're going to sleep until 6:51 is close enough to 7. So let's go. There we go. We've changed our time of day. We're still staunchly ignoring the rest of the main story, which is fine. Okay, and now we're going to start. We're going to start in the highland forests because the wolves drink at 5, but the bears drink at 7. So this will actually be really helpful for the bears. Okay, let's see what bears we have in this area in White Orchard. This is actually where I found my 4-star the first time I did this mission. Now the only unfortunate thing is we don't have the borders on this map, so you're gonna have to make a judgment call about which one this is. And I'm actually going to switch my map over to my second screen, so I'm not going to be able to see chat for a moment, but I'm going to switch this over here. I'm going to check in on you guys regularly, but this just makes it easier for me to actually mark stuff on my map. Okay, so we have a bear that has 2 drinking zones right over here. The wolves at this time should be en route to their sleeping zone. So we're going to mark their sleeping zones if we can. There should be a wolf sleeping zone over here. And another wolf sleeping zone roughly over here. The bear, this one should actually be... we can still try it. We can still see if we can get him. He should be over here. There's another bear that has a drinking zone over here. and then one over here, roughly. Let's see. The bighorn sheep are actually not anywhere near this, so we don't need to look at them yet. We've got one more bear. That should be... There should actually be a lake. A little bit... Oh, that lake. Oof. That is far up. That is far up. I don't even know if I want to look at that just yet. We do have a bear that is somewhere around. Is that the big lake there? Yeah. We do have a bear that is on this lake. So this area mostly has bears, which is going to be what we're mostly focusing on. We do actually have this bear marked already. He has a drinking zone here, and he also has a drinking zone over here. This bear has both his drinking zones over there, and we're also going to actually filter this map to take off all the animals that we don't want, because that's just going to make our life easier. Let's see, that's that bear. We have another bear that is going down here. Drinks over here. And oh my god, this one actually drinks, the one that I'm looking at in the toolbox right now, drinks very far away. Okay. This is actually swamp territory, so I don't want to look at that too closely. Okay, let's just check those bears that I have marked right now. Or those need zones that I have marked right now. We're going to start up here. And we're just gonna see if we can find all of these bears. Now, sometimes, if you are landing freshly on a campsite, and you're landing very close to the zone, you might have to back up a bit. And specifically, we are actually going to see if we can get closer to these wolves that should be over there. And then we can come back to our bears on the lake, because what can happen quite often, if you're landing too close, is that the bears will not spawn in. Oh, but there they are actually. Okay, we're going back up and we're looking at our bears then. Now keep in mind we're already pretty close, so we're gonna have to be quite sneaky here. So we're only gonna go about 20 meters, or crouch about 20 meters each, and then we're going to stop for a bit. We're gonna continue crouching. Around 150. We stop for a bit again. There's a pair that's hidden by the trees over there, but we also have this one. Oh, you are a 1-star mature. Okay, you are going to die. We are going to shoot you because you are not good. You are so not good. But I want to check the others first. I want to check on the black bears. Oh, they're actually pretty far away. You are an adult female, and you are a 1-star adult. Okay. So now I'm going to show you the tool map again. So we know that, whoops, this one, the ones that are on the left. Let me check again. It was a 1-star adult and a What was the female? Adult female. Okay. So we add an adult female and a 1-star adult. And we're going to mark that in yellow because, once again, a 1-star adult could be super high fitness. It could be super low fitness. We don't know. So we're going to mark this one in yellow. This one, on the other hand, my poor man, you have to die. We are going to need... What do we currently have in our loadout? We have the Mannlicher. And we need the second ammo. That's the category 6 ammo. Okay. So, we're going to take our tier 5, tier 6 rifle. We're going to switch ammo to the one that is actually for tier 6. And we're going to try to get this bear. Let's see, he is moving kind of slow. Let's see if he... You can tell how they're moving if they have been shot or not. This one is... Yeah, this one is moving with his head hung low and you can see a blood trail. So this was a good shot. We got him. Going to put our rifle away again. I did not actually need that reload. That was just me messing up my buttons. But that was a monster mature. We're gonna get that right away. Oh, we did not actually spook the... We did not actually spook the pair over there. Well, in this case, we're gonna see if we can get them with the low fitness caller. And if we can get them with the low fitness caller, then we know they're not good. Let's see, are they coming in? Specifically, I need to know if the male is coming in. Now, sometimes the first call doesn't work very well. You gotta wait until you've done your second call. And the way the callers work, by the way, is you have this tiny little bar at the bottom, which has this triangle moving to the right, and you want to wait until the triangle is pretty much in the middle, like solidly in the middle of that bar, until you call again. Because if you call too often, the animals will just walk away. If you call too late, they will also lose interest. You want to wait until it's pretty much in the middle. So for this point, we're going to wait until it's just past the yi in Kayi, and then we call again. Now we know the male was over here, roughly. He's not interested. He's not coming into the caller. But I think the female actually is. Yeah, so you can tell he's just walking sideways. He is not interested in us. But the female, she's coming in. Now, obviously, we don't care about the female because she doesn't have a fitness percentage, so we don't need her. She has no chance of ever becoming a 4-star, so we're just going to ignore that, and I don't care if I spook them right now. I've already taken their data. What we care about right now is harvesting this other 1-star mature that we shot. Bears live a really long time though, so I actually have to look it up. How long do they live? 39 years, yeah. Oof. So and they have a long maturity span too. A black bear is mature from 16 to 39. So 23 years, 23 to 24 years. That's a long time for an animal to be mature, which means that 1-star, if we're really unlucky, he will actually have had the right genes to become a 4-star, and he will just have been very early in his maturity. If that's the case, I'm going to be very sad. So we can see this is pink, medium amount of blood and air bubbles, which means we hit a lung. A lung, not both lungs, a lung. And the animal is definitely going to die. But we have to track him. Oh, there he is. Pretty. Let's go. Yep, 1 lung. We strafed the second one a little bit, but not much. Oh, 33.12%. Yeah, let's go. That was this bear, right? Yeah. edit marker 33.12% shot on day 2. I can't type today. I'm sorry. Solo bear. I'm gonna write down solo as well so that I know that if I'm looking at him and I can only see one animal, I don't have to look for the other one. I just know that this is a solo animal. So now we know we don't have to check this one again. Next time, if we don't find a 4-star mature today and we have to check another day, then we don't check this herd again because we know they're useless. That animal was just no. Sell. I can hear something running. Is that hares? I think that might be hares. Oh no, it's badgers. Oh, but they are spooked. Okay. I'm sorry. If you were unspooked, I could have used you, but since you are spooked, I don't need you. Young female, adult female. You guys have any males with you? Oh, there we go, a 1-star adult. But yeah, they are spooked, so we don't really care.